Morning, Judd here. Okay, back out to finish up this pump thing, or hopefully finish it up. I called the technical helpline yesterday and they said the thing should have powered up without water pressure on it or anything. I'm going to power it up before I put it in to make sure it's working. Wish me luck. So we've got power to it. It should run when I put the breaker on. And I'll be doing a quick on off because if it does run, I don't want it running without water in it. And it's not running. Okay. Okay, now just to make the point, and you see I've got power coming across the joint, coming across the switch. Okay, power 2. So everything's working here, but the power don't go on. So turning the motor manually. Nothing. Okay. Yeah, I've got a model J100A3 shallow well jet pump.
Okay.
Are you tech support?
Yeah. Where you located?
Homosassa, Florida. Okay, so that is my second adventure with the ever-built shallow well jet pump. As you can see, nothing happening. So back to Home Depot for a third time, and I'm wondering who I get to charge for this. Okay, so interesting situation here. I brought the pump back to Home Depot, and I asked to see a manager, and I got the assistant manager, Mike, who was very helpful. And it turns out Home Depot does not have 220 in their store. They have 110 and they have 480. They don't have 220, so we couldn't test it there. However, Mike had the bright idea to check it at 110. So we checked it at 110 and it worked. Then we flipped the switch to 220 and tested it at 110 again and it still worked. But it didn't work at 220. I had it connected to 220 at home and it wouldn't work. Okay, so that leaves you a quandary. I mean, how do you explain that? That doesn't make sense. Well, on the way home, I had an idea, and I'm going to check that now. I'm fed up with this. But, on the plus side, in any case, if it's only going to work at 110 for now, I'm just going to hitch it up at 110 so I can get some water in the house, because I haven't had any water since last Thursday. So I can at least run it at 110 at twice the cost to run it, but I'll have water, and I need water. So there, onward and upward. Okay, 0 and 0. All right. Something funky here. Okay, something funky there. Because I am getting power when I go here. Right, so I got a multimeter that doesn't work. As you can see from my light bulb tester, I got power on all those things. The multimeter shows 0. So I can't take a reading. What my guess was that somehow that circuit breaker that I've got for 220 got cross-wired and it was putting out the same 110 on each leg. So it was canceling each other out when it went to 220. That's the best theory I got at the moment, but I can't test it now because that thing isn't working. And I don't know what would happen if I put this on a 220. Maybe I'll just do that. Worst that happens is it blows up. Okay, so there's no reason to believe I don't have 220 coming off of that. Oops, hang on, I just discovered something. I did not have these fully engaged. So we'll try again. I used to be really good and 122, 121, 122. Good. 122. Now, what's coming across these? 246. Okay, so that confirms that I have 240 volts coming out of this. The tech helpline suggested that I only had 200 volts coming out of it, and that's why the motor didn't work. So we'll connect the pump up, and it better friggin' work. Now this claims to be preset for 230, but I'm going to check it just to make sure. Here's my switch, and it is set for 230. 110, 230. So theoretically now, when I turn on that circuit breaker, this should run. Yeah. They also said to give the motor a turn first. So we'll give the motor a turn. That's one nice little thing. They got a nice screwdriver slot here so you can turn the motor if it jams up. Okay, so here we go. And it's not running. That does not make sense at all. Okay, I'm gonna put it on. Give it a spin. And I'm going to see what it's got in here. Okay, there's 122. There's 122. Okay. Those come in from there and go through this switch. And then they come out of the switch and go to this. 122 going to that. 122 going to that. Okay, so we got power going to everything, but it's not getting to the motor. But let's see if 110. Put it to 110. And it's not working. Now that worked in the store. Let that float. Okay, now see what happens. Not working. Okay. Got power. Got power. Got power. Bad ground. Bad ground. It's got to be bad ground. Break. I'm just going to go ahead and wire it up. Is 110 and plug it in. I've got an outlet right here because I got to get water. Enough of this. Now we plug it in and see if it works. Okay, it works. Before I connect this, I'm going to go ahead and put a fill valve in here. Just hope I got some PVC glue. Okay. That doesn't look good. I don't think that glue's any good. I'm gonna have to run to the store and get some new glue. I don't like the looks of this. So I'm back with new glue and a new thought. It's the only thing that makes sense. I had to have wired the motor wrong. So I'm gonna check that. First I'm gonna finish gluing this thing up, then I'm gonna check the wiring diagram. It's the only thing that possibly makes sense. So I gotta check that. So I'm going to finish gluing this up and check that. I repeated myself. Because I'm going out of my friggin' mind. I used to be good. Well, there we go. I think that's it. And it's holding pressure. Stopped at 50. It's gone down a little bit. We'll have to see what that is inside. Go flush the toilet, see what happens. That's an idea. Okay, look at that. I run it out and it goes to 0. Unbelievable. Okay, I think this thing's just a piece of... So, bottom line, the guy I worked with at Home Depot, Mike, is in again tomorrow, so I'm going to go back tomorrow. I'm done with it for today. I've had it. I'll have to go out there and tap it every time So, that's where it goes. I'm going swimming. Bye. Okay, late night addendum. It's about 11 o'clock. I just noticed I flushed the toilet and it didn't fill. We're down to 0 pressure. This has not come on. And when I whack it, it's not coming on. So not even the whack will get it on anymore. But there we go. Okay. Thank God. But even so, that's unacceptable. So that's going back.